Okay, so you're here because you want the signal, right? Not all the noise. You need to get what's happening. And, well, you need it fast.
Mhm.
Welcome to the deep dive. We take the info, you send us articles, notes, transcripts, whatever, and we pull out the really vital stuff, the knowledge that can actually help you, like right now.
And today, we've got a really focused mission. The sources you sent, they paint this picture of massive, fast economic change, all driven by AI,
Yeah.
and this big opportunity with digital products.
Right.
So our goal here is to dig up the most compelling bits, the stories, the kind of aha moments, the insights that maybe weren't common knowledge before, give you a real edge in, well, everything that's coming.
Absolutely. We're talking AI, digital products, and yeah, how to really succeed, as we head towards 2025. And the thing that jumps out immediately from this stuff is just the speed.
Oh, definitely.
It's not slow change, it's like a tidal wave. Okay, let's get into that urgency.
Yeah, it's fascinating how the sources talk about this moment. They call it a new wave, this fifth wave of digital products. Yeah.
Yeah.
AI-driven. But here's the kicker. It's moving, they say, 10 times faster than the internet revolution.
10 times. Think about how fast the internet changed everything. And this is supposedly faster.
That's the claim.
Yeah.
It's a lot to wrap your head around.
For sure. And they use this great surfing analogy, like the wave. It's forming right now. The easy time to paddle out to catch it without, getting totally wiped out. That window is closing fast.
Yeah, way too long, and you're just going to get crushed by it.
Exactly. What you could learn now, maybe relatively easily, could be like months of painful catch-up work next year. That's why getting this now feels so critical for you listening.
And then the material lays out this framework, 3 essential keys, they call them, for really thriving in this new economy.
Okay.
It's the right model, opportunity, and access. And they frame these as like the fundamental things that'll separate the winners from, well, everyone else.
Right model, opportunity, access. Got it. Let's break down that first one. The right model. The sources are pretty clear. AI itself isn't the moneymaker. It needs a structure, a vehicle.
Exactly, a vehicle. And the right model, in their view, is one that works with AI. AI makes you better, more valuable. It doesn't just replace you.
Okay, that makes sense. So it leverages AI.
Yeah, and the other key part, it has to be replicable. Something, a beginner could actually grasp and use and get results with, not some super complex thing.
And the sources point directly at digital products as fitting this bill.
They do. They talk about a simple 3-step process: develop, distribute, deliver.
Develop, distribute, deliver. Okay.
And the really exciting part is how AI can apparently help, like, massively at every single one of those steps.
Yeah.
We'll get into the specifics. That's the core model.
All right. So key number 2, opportunity. This sounds like more than just spotting a trend.
Oh, much more. It's about having the actual resources, specifically the right tools to jump on that trend.
Right. And this is where they bring in those big examples. Kodak, Blockbuster.
It's a powerful point.
Yeah.
Huge companies,
Big one.
right? Loads of money, resources, but they got completely steamrolled by new tech.
They did.
And the argument is, it wasn't lack of money, it was failing to adopt the right tools for where things were heading. Digital cameras for Kodak, streaming for Blockbuster.
It's a stark reminder, isn't it? Having cash isn't enough if you don't have the right equipment for the job.
Precisely. And connecting that to today, the sources argue that these specialized AI tools, they're the essential resources now. They're the digital cameras for this digital product wave. You need them to really seize the opportunity.
Okay, specialized AI tools as the key resource.
Yeah.
Got it. That leads us to the third key, access. This one feels a bit more subtle, but they say it's critical.
Yeah, often overlooked, they suggest, but absolutely vital. It's about getting things, info, resources, connections that most people just don't have.
So how do they break down access?
Into 3 main types.
Right.
First is access to information. And not just any information. It's about getting the real deal, the accurate insights, versus all the hype and, frankly, bad advice floating around.
There's so much noise out there.
Exactly. They use this great analogy in airplane. If it's just a tiny bit off course when it takes off.
It ends up hundreds of miles from where it was supposed to go.
Right. Same with information in this fast-moving climate. Small errors in understanding can lead you way off track. You need reliable navigation.
Makes sense. What's the second type of access?
Access to resources.
Yeah.
This ties back to the tools we mentioned, but it's about actually being able to use them, the platforms, the software.
Right, knowing a tool exists is one thing, but actually having it in your hands and knowing how to use it properly, that's different.
That's the advantage, yeah. And the third type, access to people.
Networking.
Well, yes and no. More than just casual networking, it's about real connections with people who can give you guidance, open doors, offer advantages you just wouldn't find otherwise.
Like the examples they used, Warren Buffett and Benjamin Graham.
Or Steve Jobs and Wozniak, yeah.
Mm.
Those kinds of connections can literally change everything. It's like having an unfair advantage, they say.
Okay, that's powerful. Information, resources, people.
And they make this point, too. Getting this kind of access usually costs something, either your time, digging and learning and networking, or your money.
And they argue money is often the faster way.
Generally, yeah, because time is the one thing you can't get back. Investing money to shortcut the process can be strategically smarter.
Okay, that framework is clear. Model, opportunity, access. Now, let's get to the really juicy part. How does AI actually do this stuff? How does it supercharge that develop, distribute, deliver formula for digital products?
Right, this is where it gets pretty wild. They show how AI is making this whole thing possible for people who, aren't tech wizards or marketing gurus.
So starting with develop, creating the product, they talk a lot about this tool, synthesize AI.
Yeah, synthesize AI. It's positioned as a specialized AI, and the key is what it's trained on. Apparently, it learned from billions billions of dollars in digital product sales data from this platform they call WOP.
Billions. Okay, so it's not just scraping the web. It's trained on actual successful sales data.
That's the claim. And because of that specific training, it can supposedly do some pretty remarkable things.
Like what? Give us the highlights.
Okay, so first, they say it can find profitable niches for you, like areas where people are spending money, but there isn't much competition yet.
That alone is huge.
Right. But then, and get this, it can apparently generate the entire product, the
Yeah.
lessons, the guides, tools, even video scripts for it, with just a few clicks, even if you know nothing about the topic beforehand.
Wait, the whole product, content and all, that sounds almost too good to be true. Is there proof?
Well, this is where they share that really compelling story, the one they flag as previously undisclosed, the Millionaire Mindset Program.
Ah, yes, tell us about that.
Okay, so according to the sources, this program was created almost entirely by synthesized AI
Yeah.
with human input. About 90 minutes of work. 90.
90 minutes.
That's what they state. And even though they admit the initial framing of the product wasn't perfect, it went on to pull in over $370,000 in sales in just 30 days.
Wow.
With over 13,000 users joining, they present this as kind of exhibit A for what this specialized AI can do.
370 out from 90 minutes of work, mostly AI-driven. That is dramatic.
Really?
And they really hammer the difference between this and, say, just using standard ChatGPT prompts, right?
Oh yeah, big time. They use analogies like comparing a McLaren supercar to a basic Fiat, or a surgeon's scalpel. No, a precision razor versus a kitchen knife.
Both cut, but one is built for a very specific high-stakes job.
Exactly. General AI helps, sure.
Yeah.
But for creating a hit digital product, they argue a tool like Synthesize AI, trained specifically on that data, gives you a massive, almost decisive edge.
Okay, so AI helps develop a potentially winning product. Incredible. What about step 2? Distribute. Getting it out there.
For distribution, the spotlight moves to another tool, Ghostwriter OS.
Ghostwriter OS. Okay.
This was described as basically like having a done-for-you AI employee whose whole job is marketing and distributing your product.
An AI employee for distribution, what can it do?
Well, it supposedly generates endless content ideas, but crucially, it writes video scripts. Scripts they claim are based on tests from over $100 million in actual sales campaigns. So, high conversion stuff.
Wow, scripts tested on $100 million.
Okay? And it develops multi-platform strategies for you. TikTok, Instagram, YouTube, whatever. Apparently using 33 different agents or specializations within the AI, all with like one click.
That sounds like it could replace a whole marketing team.
That's the implication. They talk about the cost savings, potentially saving you like 6 figures a month compared to hiring a human team, plus the speed and efficiency.
Huge potential savings. And then they bring up that platform again, WOP. How does that fit into distribution?
Right, WOP. It seems to be this big online marketplace,
Yeah.
specifically for digital products. And the key benefit they highlight is premium distribution placement.
Premium placement,
Like getting the best shelf space in Walmart, they say. Or a prime spot in a really busy high-end shopping mall.
Ah, okay.
Visibility.
Exactly. Putting your product right in front of millions of people who are already on WOP, looking to buy digital products and spending millions there every month. It's framed as a massive, almost unfair advantage. Access to a ready-made audience of buyers.
That makes a lot of sense. Prime real estate online. Okay, so AI develops, AI helps distribute. What about the last step? Deliver.
Delivery, they say, is also handled largely through WOP. Once someone buys, the platform automates the delivery 204/7.
So you don't have to manually send files or logins or any...
No, completely automated, which is crucial for scaling, right? You can sell 10 copies or 10,000 copies, and the delivery just happens. It frees you up completely from that whole process. Okay, so these AI tools and the WOP platform really work together. It sounds like a pretty seamless system. Now, let's tie this back to that third key, access. How do these elements grant that crucial access?
Well, the sources explicitly connect them. These tools synthesize AI, Ghostwriter OS, and the premium distribution on WOP. They are the access to resources they were talking about, the very things most people don't have access to.
Gotcha. They are the resources. And then they introduced this monetized program as a way to actually get all three keys model, opportunity via the tools, and this enhanced access.
Exactly. It's presented as the package deal, basically.
And what specific access perks come with monetize?
Well, a big one is that premium WOP distribution we just talked about. That's included, giving you that visibility advantage right away.
Okay.
But then there's this other bonus they really emphasize, calling it previously undisclosed again.
Yeah.
Full access to the content of another program called Agency Accelerator.
Agency Accelerator. What was that about, and why is getting access now such a big deal?
Agency Accelerator taught a different, but apparently very powerful model. Instead of just selling your own stuff, you partner with people who already have big audiences, influencers, experts, whatever, and you create digital products for them. Then you split the profits.
Interesting. So leveraging someone else's audience.
Exactly. And here's the bombshell reveal. The info they say wasn't widely known. Iman Gadzhi's co-host, this guy Jason, who holds the world record for a $57 million digital product launch.
Yeah.
Apparently, he made the vast majority of his significant wealth, like top 0.00001% wealth, using that partnership model, not primarily selling his own courses.
Whoa. So the guy setting records was mostly doing it for other people through partnerships. That is a revelation.
Right. It puts a whole different spin on things. And Agency Accelerator was the program that taught exactly how to do that partnership strategy.
Okay, so getting that content is huge. And why is it a bonus now?
Because Agency Accelerator, despite being super successful, they say it cost $995, had tens of thousands of members. It's been discontinued. You can't buy it anymore.
Yeah. Ah, so getting the content inside Monetize is the only way now. Makes it pretty exclusive.
Very exclusive, yeah. And valuable, given the potential of that partnership model, especially with Jason's story as background.
And they shared some success stories linked to this knowledge, right? People using these strategies.
Oh, yeah, really powerful ones like AZ from Australia, who apparently landed big deals before he even officially joined, then scaled up to $30K, $50K a month.
Wow.
Or the 17-year-old Ellen. Hit $10 a month, then $70 a month in profit.
17. Okay.
And they make this striking claim about countless people who could barely speak English finding success using the same information, which really speaks to the accessibility of the model, I guess.
Yeah, those stories definitely hammer home the potential. Okay, now there's also this guarantee with the Monetize program, the work with you until you win thing. Tell us about that.
Right. This is pretty unusual. They basically guarantee that you'll make at least $15,000 with your digital product using their system.
$15,000 guaranteed.
That's the promise. And if you don't hit that $15 payment mark, they say they'll keep coaching you, supporting you at no extra cost until you do.
That's a very bold guarantee. How can they even track that or offer that?
The key, they say, is WOP. Because all the sales and earnings happen on the WOP platform, everything is tracked in real time. It's transparent.
Ah, so it's not based on you just telling them how much you made. They can actually see the numbers on the platform.
Exactly. It removes the whole honor system aspect.
Yeah.
You know exactly what you've earned through the platform. And they also mention just a standard 7-day full refund policy, too, for anyone who joins and decides it's not for them early on.
So verifiable results tracking makes the big guarantee possible, plus a normal refund window. It seems designed to remove risk.
That seems to be the goal, yeah. Provide the model, the tools, the access, and the support with a safety net tied to actual verifiable results.
It all paints a picture of, well, empowerment, I guess. Giving you the knowledge and tools, backing it up. And there's still that undercurrent of this window won't be open forever, especially with things like the Agency Accelerator access.
Effectively, that sense of urgency, yeah.
Okay, so let's try and wrap this up. What are the absolute key takeaways from this deep dive on AI, digital products, and, well, thriving in 2025?
I think the core message is really clear. There's this huge shift happening because of AI, opening up a massive opportunity with digital products. But it's happening fast.
Right.
And success isn't automatic. It depends on having those three keys. The right model, that simple develop, distribute, deliver framework. The right opportunity, which means having the tools, those specialized AIs like Synthesize and Ghostwriter.
Yeah.
And the right access.
Access to good information, the tools themselves via platforms like WP, and maybe even access to those powerful alternative strategies, the partnership model from Agency Accelerate.
Exactly. And access to people, potentially.
Initially.
It's the combination.
And we definitely uncovered some dramatic, previously less-known details today. That millionaire mindset case study.
Yeah, $370K from 90 minutes of work. Mainly AI.
And the revelation about Jason's primary income strategy being partnerships, not just his own stuff.
That was a big one, yeah.
Yeah.
Changes the perspective.
Plus that exclusive access to the discontinued Agency Accelerator content as a bonus.
It all paints this picture of a really dynamic moment, a time of huge potential, but also one where having the right approach and the right resources is going to make all the difference.
So maybe the final thought for you listening is this. How does all this map onto your situation? Think about those three keys: model, opportunity, access. Where are you strong? Where might you need to focus to really grab hold of what's possible right now?
Yeah, it's a good question to reflect on. Which key is missing or which needs strengthening?
Because the AI future is definitely arriving fast. But as we heard today, with the right understanding, the right tools, the right access, you've got a real shot at navigating it successfully. Maybe think about that. What's your next step to explore this further?